We're on your side with an in-depth look at the Senate runoff election and reactions from supporters of both Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith and Mike Espy.
WDAM investigates where your tax dollars are being spent as we uncover where there is extra money that no one is cashing in on.
Plus, healthcare advocates head to the state capitol to push the rise of the cigarette tax. WDAM News at 10 starts right now.
This is WDAM 7 News at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. A lot of reaction pouring in after Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith defeated Mike Espy last night.
That's right. State leaders and area supporters speaking out following the final numbers. Jessica Bowman with tonight's Decision 2018 Look Back.
I will fight for it, I assure you, every single day. I am your warrior.
Conservative values trumped Democratic voters during the U.S. Senate runoff election.
This victory, it's about our conservative values. It's about the things that mean the most to all of us Mississippians, our faith, our family. But it's those things that I will take to Washington, D.C.
Women in politics marked the historical moment as Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith is the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate from the state of Mississippi.
You know, Cindy Hyde-Smith and I, we've sat together as mothers at dance practice where our daughters were in dance together. So, yeah, I am just so proud of her. I mean, you know, Mississippi was one of only 2 states, I believe, that has not sent a woman to the federal level. And it's a very important step for the state of Mississippi.
She broke the glass ceiling, and being from Brookhaven and being good friends with her, we are just so proud. And I can tell you, when you get to know her and the state gets to know her like we do, you're going to be so happy that she's serving in the U.S. Senate.
Hyde-Smith's opponent, Mike Espy, thanking his supporters for their hard work and effort throughout the entire campaign trail.
It's time for Mississippi to move forward. It's time for us to stop standing still and regressing and start progressing.
For those of you out there who I've met in these universities, who looked at our campaign and looked under the hood and maybe decide one day that you want to run for office, go for it.
As his supporters cheered, he left them with this message.
We want this campaign to be your legacy.
The Republican majority in the Senate now grows to 53-47. In Jackson, Jessica Bowman, WDAM on your side.
And Republican Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith defeated Mike Espy, as we just said, and she did so with a margin of 54-46. And tonight we're diving into the numbers to see how turnout impacted the race. Now, both Hyde-Smith and Espy were able to energize voters to return to the polls after their 3-week runoff. Now, more people voted Democrat in the runoff, but Republican numbers dropped off overall compared to the November 6 results. Now, one analyst compared the numbers to the 2008 presidential election that had record turnout.
Barack Obama received 550,000 votes. Cindy Hyde-Smith received less than 500,000 votes on last night. So what I take away from that is that the Democrats actually do have a chance if they can mobilize voters like they did in 2008.
While Hyde-Smith didn't pull as much of the Republicans back to the polls as 3 weeks prior, she did make history as the first female elected to Congress from Mississippi. And don't forget, you can find more on the runoff election online and on our website at WDAM.com and on our free mobile app.
Let's take a look at the weather. How about that? Matt Grubbs Ford in Columbia. Things looking pretty good. Alpha Insurance camera network out there. It's a wee bit chillier than we were anticipating. 45 degrees. I was thinking we'd still be around 47 or 48. I know I'm splitting hairs at that point, but nevertheless, it's because the cloud cover that was out there a little bit earlier has eroded away off to the south just a hair. That's allowed some places to get a touch cooler. That said, I still think we're right around 45 degrees tomorrow morning, back to around 70 into the afternoon. A full look at the forecast, including the chance for rain Friday and into Saturday, coming up in a couple minutes. Guys, back over to you.
Healthcare advocates continue to push to raise the cigarette tax and invest in a healthier future. That's a coalition of more than 30 organizations. They're asking lawmakers to raise the cigarette tax by $1.50. Now, a statewide survey of 500 registered voters was conducted on October 27th through the 29th, and the Public Opinion Strategies poll indicated more than 73% were in favor of the cigarette tax increase.
Physicians like me know that the single most effective tool the state has to improve health and the quality of life is a user tax fee on cigarettes and other tobacco products.
And you wouldn't mind paying more?
Not to that extent, no, seeing how I have paid, $10 or $15 a pack before.
In 2009, the state tax on a pack of cigarettes was raised to 68 cents.
The board of the Mississippi Lottery Corporation met for the first time today in the state capitol. Governor Bryant posted this photo on Twitter saying, quote, each of the 5 members brings years of experience from diverse public and private backgrounds, end quote. The governor says this meeting is the first step toward getting a lottery up and running in our state. Caesars Entertainment says it will end gaming operations at its Tunica Roadhouse Casino. Caesars operates the hotel and casino at the Horseshoe next door. Tourism officials say the Tunica gaming market is a $500 million industry, roughly half of what it was in its heyday back in the late 2000s. Caesars says the decision to close gaming at the Roadhouse comes after declines in business.
Cities, counties, and school boards spend a lot of your tax dollars, and with tight budget years, they're always looking for extra cash. And the question is whether they're looking hard enough or even paying attention.
As our chief investigator, Mike McDaniel, uncovers, there's some extra money out there, but no one is checking.
It's just a website or phone call away. Money waiting to be claimed by agencies in charge of spending your money. It all falls under the state's unclaimed property division through the state treasurer's office. The problem is, all that cash just sits there because no one from city and county governments seems to be checking. So we did.
We're talking about money.
Some of it can be real serious money.
We wanted to know how much of that money Pine Belt counties, cities, and school districts aren't cashing in on but should be. Searching through the numbers from the state treasurer's office, as of November 15th, every county has money waiting to be claimed. When it comes to finding all this out, all we had to do was ask. Michelle Williams with the state treasurer's office says it's easy to not know.
Does it surprise you at all that these agencies have money just sitting around, essentially?
For the same reasons that a lot of people don't realize the money's out there, a lot of times the companies or the municipalities or school boards don't realize it's out there either.
According to the numbers between Walthall, Marion, Lamar, Forest, Perry, Covington, Jones, Wayne, Jasper, and Jefferson Davis counties, there is almost $50,000 on the table. Forest County, including the cities of Hattiesburg and Petal, tops the list, with more than $15,000 just sitting there. More than $1,100 has not been claimed by the Chancery Clerk, and more than $1,400 not claimed by Justice Court. The largest amount in Forest County and the second highest in the Pine Belt is for the tax collector's office in Petal, with just more than $3,800 waiting to be claimed.
When you look at these numbers, what goes through your mind seeing that there's money out there for this city?
Well, I'm just curious as to what it's for and how long it's been there.
Petal Mayor Hal Marks says he made a call after we brought it to his attention. He says that money is apparently a check from Chevron, which no one was aware of.
Every bit helps. When you're on a tight budget, even $1,000 is money that you can spend on other things the city needs.
It's the same story in Marion County, including the city of Columbia, with more than $14,000 looking for bank accounts. More than $6,000 of that is for the county tax assessor's office alone. That's the highest single amount across the board in the Pine Belt.
What goes through your mind seeing that the county has this money just sitting there?
Well, it looks good. Every little bit helps.
Marion County Supervisor and Board President Randy Dye says that money can be put to good use.
We had an air conditioning unit to go out, our central unit to go out, so this money would replace a unit.
While some claims are small, when you add them up, tight budgets can benefit. But what we found is no one in city or county governments is tasked with checking.
And this is essentially money they can put in their general funds.
It is. It is their money to do with, whatever their rules say.
The governments just need to do their due diligence.
They really do. They just have to do that. And if they could check with us, just like what you did, if somebody checks with us and say, hey, do we have any money? We go in there and we look.
Williams says because of staffing, the treasurer's office isn't able to individually notify everyone who has money sitting around, but does try to publicize it. City and county leaders we spoke with say they will be keeping a closer eye on what's out there.
I'll try to make sure that, we periodically check that website just to make sure we're not on there again.
I just appreciate y'all following up on this and bringing our attention to it.
We're happy to say since we started looking into this, the Treasurer's Office contacted every county, city, and school board on our list so the claims process can begin. That's usually a 4 to 6 week turnaround before that money is handed over. If you want to take a look at the list, we've got it with this story over on our website at WDAM.com. You'll also find a link to see if you have any money just waiting to be claimed. Mike McDaniel, WDAM Investigates.
Now, if you have an issue you want us to investigate, you can call our tip line at 601-450-TIPS, and you can also email us at iteam@WDAM.com.
President of Pearl River Community College, Adam Breerwood, outlined his school's accomplishments and challenges today. This first State of the College speech gave students, faculty, staff, and local lawmakers an overview of what's happening at PRCC. Breerwood says the school is building 2 new dorms and a new science building annex in Poplarville. He hopes to build new workforce development centers in Hattiesburg and in Hancock County as well. Tonight, the Hattiesburg Fire Department donated $1,400 to a family in need.
That's right. Firefighters donated money throughout the month to participate in No Shave November. The department handed over a check to Harley Williams and her family. Williams is 8 years old and was diagnosed with a cancerous tumor last November. After 9 months of chemotherapy, she is now free of cancer, and the funds raised on her behalf will go towards helping the Williams family put this battle behind them.
We usually try to find a local child that's battling and a family that might need help, and we raise money for them, and we give 100% of what we raise to that family. Get to show them the truck and just kind of have fun and meet them, and it feels good to do something nice for somebody, especially this time of year.
And this is the 4th year firefighters have participated in No Shave November, raising money for a worthy cause.
WDAM-7 and the Salvation Army are giving you a chance to help make a difference in the lives of children here in the Pine Belt for Christmas. Help Lyric, Charles, and many more kids have a Merry Christmas by taking part in the Angel Tree. Now, your donation should be new and unwrapped. You can take them to Turtle Creek Mall or the Salvation Army main office in Hattiesburg by the 14th of December.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Isn't that beautiful? The president led the countdown as First Lady Melania Trump switched on the lights tonight at the National Christmas Tree Lighting Ceremony. The president thanked first responders and our military in particular.
Further up north, a star-studded lineup at the 86th lighting of the Rockefeller Center Christmas. John Legend, Kelly Pickler, Pentatonics, and the Rockettes performed. This year's tree is a 72-foot-tall, 12-ton Norway spruce.
Wake up just before daylight.
Happening now beyond the Pine Belt, lawmakers are working against the clock to fund several government agencies before it expires on December 7th.
At the center of this fight in Washington, funding for President Trump's border wall on the Mexican border. The president says if Congress does not appropriate $5 billion for the wall, he would, quote, totally be willing to shut down the government. Now, House Republicans have passed a bill with $5 billion for the wall.
We've seen what is happening along the southern border. I'm hopeful now that that changes and that we can solve this problem and make sure our borders are secure. And everybody realizes our immigration system is broken and that we can solve this problem once and for all.
Now, the Senate needs Democratic support for the bill, and bipartisan negotiators have only agreed to $1.6 billion for any border wall, nowhere near the president's target.
Another major development tonight in special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into alleged Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Rudy Giuliani, the president's lead attorney, says Paul Manafort's lawyers have been talking to President Trump's legal team about what Manafort has been telling the special counsel's investigators. Giuliani says President Trump is, quote, enraged by how Manafort is being treated by Mueller's team. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut denounced the sharing arrangement between Manafort and Trump, telling reporters the cooperation is not illegal, but in his opinion, improper.
And setting news headlines aside, let's check in with our first alert weather team.
Dick, what you got?
It's a little chillier tonight than we were thinking, by a degree or two, nothing too crazy. We'll get back into the 70s the next couple of days, a chance for some thunderstorms Friday and into Saturday. We'll talk about it all after the break. Stick around.
WDAM 7 First Alert Weather.
You know, folks, welcome back. Starting things off with temperatures across the area. Like I was saying, a couple of degrees cooler than we were thinking. Already down to 41 in Hattiesburg, 42 in Laurel. Same goes in Bay Springs. We were anticipating being somewhere around that 46 to 47 degree range. Okay, so maybe about 5 degrees cooler in some spots, particularly Hattiesburg, Collins, and Laurel. But you're still sitting about where we were thinking in Wiggins, Poplarville, and out toward Columbia. And there's no rain out there. There's no precip for it tonight. We were watching the little layer of cloud cover that was hovering over the top of us a bit earlier. The northern edge of this just pushed off to the south a little bit and allows us to radiate some of the heat from earlier today. Not that there was too terribly much of it, but it allows us to radiate away into the atmosphere, so you're just a touch cooler tonight. Those clouds will lift back to the north as we head through the rest of this evening. In fact, you can already see the cloud cover back off to the west, building back off to the north, and that'll help keep temperatures up. Speaking of stuff that's out here, the blob is out here too. See this little pointy area spinning around right there? That's a little area of low pressure. This is going to get caught up in a bigger area of low pressure, which is bringing rains to parts of California today. As all of that moves from west to east, it's going to kind of get scooped up down here and kind of lifted this direction. As it does so, it's going to kind of cruise across the Gulf of Mexico, and this little blob down here is probably going to save us from dealing with severe weather Friday and into Saturday. There's still a chance to see a severe storm or two. We're still underneath a marginal risk for severe weather as of right now. We'll zoom back in here. A marginal risk, that's for everybody, but it's not as bad as it could be. It's not a slight risk or an enhanced risk because of the blob, which we're anticipating to be out there. So for now, we're just talking about wind is our main concern, up over about 50 miles an hour in some of the strongest storms. There won't be many of them. Sometime between about 11 o'clock on Friday night and 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. We can't rule out the possibility for an isolated tornado, maybe one, perhaps two at worst, as things look right now. Maybe some localized flooding, but this isn't a knockdown, drag-out kind of severe weather event. Here's what Futurecast is thinking as we head through the next couple of days. By tomorrow at 2 o'clock, cloudy, maybe a shower out there. We're going for a 30% chance tomorrow. You can see some of the greenery sliding by on the radar. By the time we get toward Friday afternoon, headed to a football game into the evening, not much. I think we've got to wait until we get past 11 o'clock at night on Friday. That's when some of the showers and thunderstorms roll in. Here we are at 4 a.m. And these will be pretty disorganized if they're clustered up like this. And then we kind of hold on to it until the cold front slides on through. We dry things out as we head through the day on Saturday. There's an outside chance if we don't see the blob that we have a resurgence of instability and a little bit of leftover shear and the possibility of severe weather on Saturday afternoon. That remains to be seen. It's something we'll keep an eye on for you if you are headed out to any of those football games. But for right now, I'm not too terribly concerned. Cloudy for tomorrow, a couple of showers. Storms on Friday and into Saturday. It's overnight stuff. Maybe some soggy football on Saturday. We get another chance for rain showing up on Monday. So the next 7 days kind of break out like this. A 50% chance Friday and Saturday, but that's basically overnight stuff. After 10, before 7. Another shot for rain on Monday. Temperatures in the 70s for the next couple of days, pushing 80. And then we cool things down and dry things out as we head through the middle of next week. We'll be right back.
John Rice Plumlee, quarterback of the Oak Grove Warriors, remembers playing at M.M. Roberts Stadium back in his Pee Wee football days. Many of his same teammates then are his teammates now as an Oak Grove senior. The Warriors will be back at the Rock Friday in the school's first state title appearance since 2014 after missing the playoffs the last 2 years.
4:49 left. They just had to learn how to win. You know, so they learned how to win. They're going into their junior year, and now they're, you know, they understand what it takes, and they've done a great job.
When the senior group got to where we are, coming from where we've been, successful in the past and then not successful, I think we kind of really put our foot down and said we're going to do whatever it takes to be successful this year, and I think we've really done that.
The West Jones defense has been stifling all season, giving up less than 9 points a game. Saturday's state title match with two-time defending champion West Point will be the Mustangs' toughest challenge.
Well, I think there's a bunch of things that make them tough. One is they've been there before and they do it every year. So they expect to be there and they expect to win. And I think when you have that type of program, it already makes a big hurdle. Second thing is they're a real physical team, probably the most physical team we've faced all year. They're going to line up and they're going to run it right at you. And I know we're good at stopping that, but I don't know if we've ever seen it at this level. So that's going to be our biggest challenge, is rising to the occasion of the physicality up front on both sides of the ball.
Seminary is battle-tested. Two of the Bulldogs' 3 losses came against Taylorsville and Poplarville, who both compete for a state championship alongside Seminary this weekend.
It proves that we can overcome bad situations like getting down. JDC defense stepped up, offense made a play.
You know, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough schedule. We didn't have a cakewalk by no means, but, you know, I just think that's what's prepared us throughout the playoffs. And hopefully, you know, going into Friday's game, I mean, we know it's going to be a battle, and hopefully we'll be able to fight to the end and come out victorious.
While Taylorsville's season may seem flawless at 15-0, the Tartars have battled through adversity all year. The latest hurdle is replacing 2A Player of the Year Ty Keys at quarterback. Freshman Carson Evans steps in, and the team is behind him 100% as they look to repeat as state champs.
I think so. I think it's leadership too. Our seniors is not going to let us work this hard to get this far and then go lay an egg. We're going to be ready to play. And I think the week of preparation, see, last week he just kind of got threw into the fire, you know, and actually he was our starting linebacker in the game, so we had to change that out too. So I think this week he'll be more prepared to play.
After falling to Lafayette in the 2016 state title, Poplarville wanted to get back right away. Instead, East Central ended its 2017 season in the South State Finals. The Hornets retaliated with a win over East Central this year to get back to the state title. John Hendrick has been named Jackson State's new head football coach. The Division of Athletics removes the interim tag from Hendrick's title after he went 2-1 with the Tigers to finish the year. William Carey stays alive in the NAIA Soccer Championships. Joaquin Cabello hit the game winner in overtime to lift the men past Cardinal Stritch 2-1. The Lady Crusaders beat Lindsey Wilson 1-0 behind Petal native Jamie Hollyfield's go-ahead score in the 66th minute.
We knew it was going to be hard from the get-go. We're the most relaxed when we were joking around and everything, and we did not have that the first half. So the second half we needed to loosen up, and I think that we ultimately did that.
We find a way to grind out results. You know, it wasn't pretty. We didn't play well. You know, I had to take off some of my best players, use our bench, but again, we find a way.
All right, some Southern Miss hoops for you, trying to bounce back from Sunday's loss to William Carey, taking on South Alabama. How about this block from Harper Baker? 3 blocks for him, 18 points as well. Then on the other end, Tyree Griffin with a nice move, 2 of his 18 points on the day. Then you see the ball movement from Southern Miss, finding Cortez Edwards in the corner, who knocks down the triple. He led USM with 19 points. Southern Miss rolling here in the first half. Tyree Griffin with a beautiful pass to Gabe Watson for the lay-in. They win 71-67. They're now 5-2. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes held its 3rd annual Operation Christmas Joy Wednesday morning at PRCC. Over 100 special needs children and teachers joining athletes around the Pine Belt in a Christmas celebration.
It's pretty amazing to see the smile on these kids' faces will light up your world, because it's pretty amazing for us as PRCC students we're able to put on something like this.
PRCC is very adamant about forming a whole student, so us being able to reach out and impact others the way that the school has impacted us is really touching.
Hey, 14-day forecast, cloudy for tomorrow, chance for rain Friday and into Saturday, another shot on Monday with some storms, potentially some severe weather, but we'll keep an eye on things. We're not too terribly concerned. Another chance for rain as we head toward next weekend. Other than that, seasonably cool and seasonably dry as we head into the middle of December. Guys.
All right, thank you so much, Nick. And nursing home residents in Illinois got some special holiday visitors who brought the pitter-patter of little hooves. Their names are Bailey and Jasper, and they're American mini horses. They came decked out in their holiday finest, much to the delight of the residents. Look at those little antlers on them. The horses were brought out by Heartland Mini Hooves, a group that visits schools, nursing homes, and other organizations in the area.
How adorable is that?
Oh, my goodness. Cute. Thank you so much in weather. Thank you in sports. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.